Today in the studio, I'm going to be custom quilting this Barnyard Animals quilt. It was made by Monette in Kamloops, BC, so let's go stitch. There are timestamps on this video, so if you want to skip to the next part, you can do that. Also, if you're finding any value in these videos, I would really appreciate it if you would buy me a coffee. Now there is a link in the description for that as well. I plan to fill this pieced area with a wandering feather. So here I'm just stitching out the spine of that feather because with all these busy fabrics, I knew I would have a hard time following a marked line. I decided to do a spine feather here because I was thinking about a climbing vine and I thought a spine feather just helped to mimic that a little bit more. I could have done more of like a feather fill, but this is what I decided to do. I had to move the quilt back and forth quite a bit because I work on a pretty small machine and I only have about 15 inches of workable space. As I stitch out these feather plumes, I am making sure to stretch them all the way out to the edges of the area that I'm working in and just build on top of them. I'm not trying to stay entirely uniform. I really do want to keep this feather looking fairly organic. As I come around this corner, I'm taking note of where the spine is coming down, and I'm going to shrink my feathers down to only take up about half the space between the two spines. That way I leave myself some room when I'm coming back down. I'm gonna let this play out for a little bit just for those folks who really like to watch the stitching of a feather. So feel free to skip to the next part. I always like to stitch my ditches when I'm custom quilting. I think this makes a nicer quilt, a more complete finish, especially if I'm working on a client quilt. In these panel blocks, I decided to add some feather details and some cross-hatching. I definitely break thread a little bit more than I really needed to, but the reality is that I've spent more time trying to decide on a thread path than I have actually just breaking thread and moving on. So I don't really find breaking thread to be that big of a deal anymore. In the open area after the motif is done here, I did a 1/2 inch crosshatch. I decided on the 1/2 inch scale because I wanted to just add a little bit more texture. Monette likes a bit of a tighter texture to her quilting. And also the backing of this quilt is fireside. So even with denser quilting, it doesn't seem to really affect the tactile feel of the quilt. Basically, the quilt is still soft and pliable, even with the dense quilting. What did I do here? Okay. Okay, I will master this design one day. I'm not quite sure why this design has my number, but it sure does. I first saw this demonstrated by Bethanne Nemesh, and I've been working on getting better at it, but for some reason it just glitches my brain a little bit. I'm gonna link her video down below so you can go check out her demonstration about it. A couple weeks ago, I actually posted on the communities tab asking people what quilty celebrity they would like to meet, and Bethanne was definitely mentioned. Now, not to brag, but I did get to meet Bethanne and Susan Smith on a quilting cruise this past January. So that was awesome, and they're both pretty awesome. I mean, Susan is a close personal friend. I just wanted to give a little shout out to all those quilty cruises out there. Hi guys. I love the way this quilt came out. So thanks so much for watching. And please, if you are finding any value in this, help me keep the lights on and the videos rolling and buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Also, I'm going to be going up to Prince George, British Columbia on April 26, 2025 and doing some presentations up there for the Willow Basket Quilt Shop. So if you're up in that area and you want to maybe come to some of the presentations, I'm going to link that down below and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.